What if you can move from having an idea to creating the idea and testing with your users and then launching? That is what Figma Make will help you do. Figma Make basically helps you to quickly bring your ideas to life, test it with your users, then iterate and launch. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to use Figma Make as a pro, whether you are just starting, whether you're a founder, or whether you're a designer who is trying to figure out which platform to use to explore their ideas. This video is for you. So let's get started. So from my screen, you can see that I have a product that I already built. It's called My Gratitude Jar. Just me exploring ideas and to get to know, exploring my ideas. This took me like some couple of minutes to build, right? One of the beautiful things about, one of the things I like about Figma Make is that it's easy for you to start with, to understand. You don't need to know how to code or all of those things. So for example, this product is just a way for you to track your, stay thankful. So the idea behind it is that every day you have to move like a certain pill, like not a number of pills based on your age. And once you input your age, it's going to convert your age to days you've lived on Earth, right? So it's going to convert your age. So let's say I'm 12, right? And I select a challenge. You can say I have like 3 months challenge to move 49 pills per day. And I entered my age, which is 12, and it tells me that I've lived 4,383 days on Earth. So it's going to divide that particular, it's going to divide the days based on the challenge that I select. So if I'm selecting the 90 days challenge, I'm going to be moving 49 pills per day. If I select 180 days, I'm going to be moving 25 pills per day. If I select the 13 days, I'm going to be moving 13 days, so 13 pills per day. So let me select this, and you can see as a new user, I have this reader or counter or the progress info at the top here. It tells me my age, tells me that I selected the 365-day challenge, and that I should tap the pills. You can see that I have a total of 13 pills here. So each time I click here, it moves the pill here, and it reads, and it shows me my progress. And you can see that I have moved one pill out of 4,383 pills. So at the end of, once I'm done moving this pill to this, it's going to show me an insightful quote about gratitude. So the idea behind it is just for you to stay grateful or maybe stay thankful visually. You just don't need to be saying, so for every pill I move, I can be saying thank you, I can be saying whatever word I want to say. You can see. So let me quickly move this. I think I'm going to shut down this noise. I hate it. So you can see I'm done moving the pills, and it starts giving me a congratulatory message telling me that every day is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Gratitude helps us unwrap it, and it tells me that I've completed day one of 365 days, so I can come back tomorrow and continue from there. If you want to restart, probably don't want to do 365 days, you can always reset this. So these are some of the things that you can build. There's another product that I built as well. This one is Bible verse. So it just basically, and this, before we proceed to that, and this product is mobile responsive, right? So you can see that everything is mobile responsive. You can switch to light mode, you can switch to the dark mode, you can always reset and see how clean the interface is. So we'll get to how we arrived at this screen before we then go to the introduction of the interface. So the next product is this one is Bible verse spinner. So every day it just spins. You just come here and spin, and you get a word for the day. So as I spin now, you can see it gave me Romans 8:28. These products are just for Jesus babies, right? That doesn't mean that you should always build in this direction. It's just something that I use for my daily devotion, right? And I just thought about it and I built it. I've used it to build more complex products for businesses, which I will not show you. I'm just using these ones as an example to show you the things you can achieve with Figma Make. So as I explained, you can see, and we know that God causes everything, blah, blah, blah. And you see the explanation for that scripture. You can also change the Bible version that you want it to read to you. And it tells you that you're reading from King James Version. And then it changes that specific Bible verse to, it tailors that specific Bible verse to that Bible version that you selected. You can select the message, and you can see that's why we can be sure that every detail in our lives of love for God is worked into something. I think I like Passion Translation. You can see, so we are convicted that every detail of our lives is continually woven together for God. So you just explore this. You can see some of the product I've built. And now, let's go back to the previous one, the gratitude jar. How did I arrive at this? The thing is that at the initial stage of your ideation, remember I said that Figma Make helps you to get started with your ideas, iterate, and then make test with your users, iterate, and then you launch just by clicking on this what's it called, update or publish, because I've published initially. So it tells me to update my published published version based on the changes that I make, right? So how did we arrive at this screen? The way I like to use Figma Make is that I just start with an initial prompt idea. I don't know what the product is going to look like. I just give it a prompt, and then it spits out its output, and then I modify it from there. So for example, for this gratitude jar that we have here, you can see the different levels of iterations that I made, right? Just let's start from the intro page. intro page, you can see the initial design that it gave me, and then I then modified it to this one, but I didn't like the arrangement, so I wanted to simplify things further, and then we arrived here. You can see that this is Figma design. So I designed it. I took the screen, like you can redesign it, and then I copied the screen and pasted, right? Paste it here and then prompt it to design it out for you, right? And then that was how we were able to arrive at this first screen. So let me reset and go back. Okay, I need to, let me say 3 years, 2 years, 9. Let me go back to light mode because I'm referencing the light mode here. So if I go back now, if I reset now, you can see that this screen, it's built it pixel perfect to what I have here because I referenced in Figma design. So one of the ways to make it build exactly what you want is to modify the idea in Figma and then copy the Figma frame and paste for it, and it will build it for you. It might not really come out perfect, but you can always tweak it, you can always tell it and keep modifying till you get what you want. And one of the ways to make it build pixel perfect as well is to give it one prompt at a time. Don't give it 10 different prompts, it can get confused. So you can just give it one prompt at a time. For example, if you want to change the title, if you want to make the title bigger, copy, just screen grab it and paste, tell it to make the title bigger. You can give it a specific size that you want it to make it. Probably the size was 16px and you want it to make it 24px. You screen grab it so that you know it can know where you are. I mean, it can point to where you are referencing the screen or the section that you are referencing, and then you tell it increase this my gratitude jar text to 24px. You need to be as specific as possible. Then if you want to change this as well, when you are done changing this, you can change this as well. Then if you want to change it, so one prompt at a time, it helps you to give you accurate output. But when you give it too many prompts at a time or too many corrections at a time, it can get confusing and it will lose its train of thought. So now that is this for this. Then the second screen, this was the first output that it gave me. You can see it's not that bad, but everything is just looking too busy. You have text at the top, you have text at the bottom. So I actually tried to modify it, right, by making the screen this cards. Like in this iteration, I was focusing on the cards first. So I just wanted to make the cards look more beautiful. And then this was the one I pushed. I actually pushed this one to the users. Then later I came back and said, oh no, we can make this thing more better. The thing is that every idea can always be improved on. You can always iterate on any idea. Somebody else can come here and tell you 1001 ways on how this particular screen can be improved. So I looked at it and said, this can actually get better. I then moved this text. You can see the way I combined them just to make sure that everything at a glance, the user sees what they need to see. So when a user imputes their age, it tells them that this is the age that they live, which is what we have here, right? So let's say I'm 12 and I enter, you can see it designed it exactly as I have here, right? It didn't really come out well here, but I used some prompts to make it work, but it did it, like it's really tried. Then I had to make it mobile responsive as well, because when it brought it out, it wasn't mobile responsive. So I had to design the mobile version for it, and then I pasted it, and then it made it mobile responsive. You can see that this mobile section was really tough, but we were able to arrive at a clean solution, right? So, and then the next one for the home page, which is this one now. For the home page, this was the initial output that it gave me. You can see everything is looking weird. You can see this thing. One of the things about using Figma Make is that the initial idea might not really be close to what you want. At the initial stage, you don't even know what the product is going to look like. So you're just starting from scratch. You're just pinpointing, right? With the initial prompt idea that it gives you, it can then show you the direction that you want to go to. Being a product designer, being a UI UX designer or UI designer, you already know that craft. And the thing there is that one of the things I would say to you in this AI age is that you should develop a good taste for good designs, because some people can run with this, right? Because some people can run with it, which is not that bad, but I cannot run with this. I can't publish this and tell people, oh, this thing, what differentiates you for someone who knows who doesn't know how to design. There should be like something that differentiates you. Like when somebody sees this thing, they will know that, oh, this was done by a professional and this was done by a non-professional. There should be something that separates you from the rest as a product designer, right? So this was the initial idea. You can see it was tracking today's progress, it was tracking POs remaining, it was tracking challenge. Although these things, this data here, from the initial prompt I gave to it. So, and I thought of it, what is the need for all these things? I liked this one, which was good. And then the POs as well, it was telling me 6 more. Its user experience wasn't really good because it was telling me 6 more. And we have like multiple POs here. It was telling me 13 more. So the data is not like syncing well. So I also don't understand what it means. This one is Hallelujah. I think this one is gratitude collector. So I needed to streamline it and make the experience more interesting. And you can see the user is at the top. You are putting the progress at the bottom. So I needed to modify it, and I then took it to this one. You can see I removed 4 data cards here. I just left 2, which is the challenge progress, and then the total POs moved. And you can see I modified the jars, like the red and the green jars here, and you can see this progress section I also modified, and I took it to it, and then it created it. But by the time it created it, I noticed that the width of the interface was too wide, right? I didn't need it to be that wide, because when you when you preview it, you can see, you will notice that the screen is white, like at the initial stage. So I needed to reiterate again. So that's why I told you guys that design is an iterative process. As the more you design it, the more ideas you get on how to improve on that. And you can also see the toggle button. This was what I started with initially, but when I pushed it, I actually pushed this one to users actually to test as well. So but when I pushed it and I was looking at it, it was looking so weird. I needed to iterate on that and modify it. And then here we landed. This was the final output, which is what we have here. You can see this is the final output, which is what we have here. And then I modified the light and dark mode toggles, and then I modified the jars. Right, you can see that these ones are different, and you can see I now place them in their specific containers to just simplify it, to make it also mobile responsive. To better structure it for the mobile for mobile responsiveness. You can see I also created the mobile interface for it so that it will create it appropriately. When I was done, I then thought of the dark mode. So how can we make this better? Okay, there's another one left. And then you have the modals, the congratulatory modal. So this was the initial one that it gave to me. And you can see that number one, this is not too bad, but it's so busy. It's looking too busy. And I wanted to simplify it. Then I designed this in Figma. I designed this out for it and asked it to modify it. When I was looking at it again, I was like, this thing is still too busy. And it is. You have text here, 1, 2, 3. Which one is the user going to be focusing on? When you push this, not that bad, but you can make it better. When you are creating something, you should always look at what you are creating as how you can improve on it. Like, how can you make it better? When you keep thinking in this direction, you always see ways to actually make your work better. Your initial output or your final output might not be your final output. Everything can always be improved on. Then we arrived here. You can see these two texts, we combine them, and then we have this, just simplifying the interface, right? So that was how we were able to like arrive at this specific solution. So if I refer, because I've not completed today's this. So then the dark mode, I thought of the dark mode that, I'm a dark mode person. I like dark mode a lot. And then I created a dark mode interface for it, and I asked it to modify the dark mode. I referenced each screen. So I was here and I asked it to modify this interface using this dark mode. I pasted the Figma file to it so that you can select and pick all the specific colors and then properties of the interface. And then I then selected this one as well and pasted, and I then selected this one as well. I then selected this one so that it can get the exact colors needed. I think it made some mistake on here, so I had to copy the specific color codes for the container and then the outline and then give it, and it came out really well, right? It came out really well. And then if I switch now, you can see that the dark mode is exactly as it is on the design. So this is one of the ways you can get pixel perfect design. The same thing applies to this Bible body or Bible app spinner. So when I gave it the initial prompt, this was the initial idea that it generated, the initial output. You can see this is not bad to start with, but it can get better. Number one, this is so busy, so busy. So busy. And so I modified it. You can see at the top, it didn't have this, right? It didn't have this. So I wanted a situation where users can select different Bible version, not just getting. So I wanted it to be tailored to the user's preference, right? Bible version preference. You know, some people understand King James and some people understand other versions. And you can't assume that every other user understands King James. This is one of the ways to create inclusive design, right? So I modified it and I asked it to create this. And I think I then asked it to create a drop down. I didn't need to design that. There's sometimes I don't necessarily need to design it. I just tell it, it already knows what it would do because it has maybe like a library of resources it can pull from. Then I came to this. You can see I designed this out as well, and it picked it from there. And that was how we arrived at this. I think later I didn't need to design out this, but later I asked it to remove this and then replace it with this copyright information here. And that was how it replaced it with it. So you can really build amazing things with Figma Make. Now that we've seen some of the things I've built with Figma Make, let me introduce the interface to you. Go on, right? So at first, if you come to your file, like let's say this is your file and you create, before you can use Figma Make to start with, you will need to have like a Figma account. So once you create a Figma account, you're going to have access to all these Figma products. You're going to have Figma design, where you design, which is where this is Figma design. You're going to have access to FigJam, which is the editing product. You're going to have access to Figma slides, which is the presentation product, and this one Figma boards for marketers and social media guys that do stuff. And then you have sites specifically built for websites and all. Then you have Make. Make is the one I'm introducing for you. So once you click on Make, it's going to open up a new file for you. And then you paste your idea or you type your prompt and it will start building it to you. But before we get there, before we start building, let me introduce the interface to you using this part. And then we can take an idea. We're going to build something in real time, modify it, and then see how it comes out, right? So once you are done building, it's going to show you this interface, previewing the product that you've asked it to build. Like you can see, this is preview, used for you to see the visual output of your idea. Then this is the code. You can see this is the code base. It has the guidelines and all of that. You don't necessarily need to come here if you're not a developer or if you don't understand. You don't need to understand anything here. Only developers or people that understand code or that can write code. Like you can come here to modify. In a situation where you don't want to use prompt, you can come here. Like for example, this one you can change it from. But just make sure that you know what the specific elements that you're changing. You can see this one is for animation and all. You can say from 50, you can change it to 70 and all, but you don't necessarily need to come here. So this is where all the codes for this output is. So at the top left, this icon is for you to refresh. So each time you refresh, your interface is going to refresh before you can see it has refreshed in a situation where you want to refresh. And this one, if you want to pull up this section to see the console and all of that, you can pull it up. Currently, we don't have anything here. In a situation where you have like an error message, this is where you can pull it up to see what is happening here, right? And then you have this responsive, what's it called? Responsive preview for you to view the mobile responsiveness, because as you're building, you want to make sure that what you're building is mobile responsive, like what we started with initially. So you can change to different screen sizes, mobile screen sizes. Sorry. You can change to different mobile screen sizes that you prefer, but now we're going to continue with our iPhone 16. And then here we talked about it, preview and code. Then you can see your name and all. Then here is for you to copy the design. So let's say there is something I want to modify specifically and I don't want to take a screenshot. If you notice here, I took screenshot for this one. I copied the design, but for this one, sorry, for this, is it AIX? Oh, okay. For these guys, I actually took screenshots. I didn't copy the design because I wanted to really design it entirely. There's nothing to modify there. I just wanted to recreate it from scratch, which is why I didn't copy the design. And this one as well, I wanted to recreate it from scratch. Yeah. So in a situation where you are good with everything, but you just want to modify something, you can copy the design. Like once you copy the design, you can see, you can copy the design and then you can copy the design and paste it. You can see I've pasted. This has become your like real Figma design. You can see the text, you can see the design. So now that we have the text, you can just adjust it. And this one, and everything is in auto layout. You can see the text, you can see the toggle, and everything is so you can come here, make your adjustments, and then pull it back, copy it, and paste it back to the interface and ask it to do whatever changes that you want to do. Right. So that's it for this one. Then this one is for you to preview. If I click on this now, it's going to show me the external preview of the product. You can see how it's previewing. So off this place, you can just preview it. If I click on it now, therefore, I can select 9 and you can see everything looks good. So that's it for preview. Then this one for your settings. Now for these settings, you can connect to Supabase. We're not going to talk about it today. For your integrations, in a situation where you want to have like databases or database for your product, in a situation where you want to collect some user data, like their email or their names or some sort, or you want a persistent action, like when a user refreshes, it doesn't clear the data. For example, if I refresh this, if I finish performing or moving these fields and I refresh, it doesn't clear the data. You can connect it to database so that you can always recall the previous state of the user. I hope I made justice to that. You can connect to GitHub or you can link it to Supabase. But in this case, we don't need it for this one because I think it can, to some extent, retain the user's activities on the platform. Then for this one, general, we can come back. We'll come back to here when we want to publish our product. So I can walk us through this one. Then this publish button is for when you are done building and you want to share your ideas with other people, with your users. You want to test your ideas with your users, you can publish it. If you've not published before, this button is going to be saying publishing. It's going to say publish, and then you can publish it and then copy the link. You can say copy the link. We'll come to here how I arrived at this specific link, because at the initial stage, you're going to have like some kind of gibberish looking link here, but you can always modify it. And then connect domain. So if you have like a specific domain that you want to connect, this is where you can click to connect it. And then share. This is when you want to collaborate with your team members. Yeah, you want to collaborate with your team members. You can enter their email. You can say email blah blah blah, and then you give them different access permissions. If you want them to edit, like your team members or your client, whoever, you can give them the edit access, or you can give them the view access so that they can come in and view your prompts and then view the stuff that are here. So that's it for this top side of the screen or the toolbar. Then you have another toolbar here at the bottom here. So the first one is, this one is for you to attach a Figma design. If I click on it now, it's going to prompt you to paste the Figma design here, or you can just copy the Figma design. So if I have like a Figma design I want to see, let's say I want to paste this one, but I'm just going to Control C and then paste it. That's it. You paste it and it pastes here, and then you type your prompt. Right. Once you type your prompt, you click on this to send it for you to start building. Right. So I'm going to remove this. Then this one is for your library. If you have like guidelines, so in a situation where you want it to use a specific guideline, you can click on edit guideline, and then you can modify the guidelines here. If there are some things that you don't want it to do, if there are some words that you don't want it to use, you can specify them here. You can see design guidelines, rules for AI. This one you can always modify. You can see for buttons, you can see for variants. So I think I'm good to go with these guidelines. Let's go back to our preview. Then you have like point and edit. What point and edit does is that you don't necessarily need to screen grab, type all the time. You can just point and edit it, and then you tell it what you want it to do. For example, when we started, I say you can tell it to increase the size of the text. You can tell it to decrease the size of the text. But in this case, I don't want to do anything on it. So if you want to point directly to an element on your screen, you can just use this button to point on it. In this case, I don't want to do anything on that. We might do it when we are creating our own products, right? So that is it for the Figma Make interface. Now let's let's put everything that we've learned into practice. We're going to build a product. Remember, I said initially that when you come here, you click on Figma Make, it brings you to this screen, and then you can start building. Right. So I already have a prompt. I want us to build a studio, like a beauty studio web app where users can make a booking or book an appointment. So we'll call it Glow Up Studio. I'm going to copy the prompt now and then paste it so that we can see the prompt. So it's actually a very detailed prompt. One of the ways you can make your prompt more detailed is to write your initial prompt, write it down, and then take it to ChatGPT and ask it to refine the prompt for you. So this is what we are building. Create a 3-step appointment booking web app for a beauty studio called Glow Up Beauty Studio. The app should be mobile first. You can see clean mobile, clean. I don't want to make it mobile first. Let's just say platform. I want to make this platform in a situation where I don't just want it to just build a mobile interface, because I've had that experience. The mobile interface was, the interface was just mobile, and it's mentioning it here. The app should be clean. So by default, I want it to build a desktop, then we can then make it mobile responsive. Build this as a simple multi-screen flow with clear integration. This is blah, blah, blah. I want to check to make sure that there's no place that it mentions mobile specific, all of that. We can always modify. So this is the prompt. You can pause to read the prompt. You can see. I'll also attach, I think I'll share this to Figma community, this particular product. And then so from there you can duplicate and then read through the prompt. You can see the design guidelines. You can see keep the overall app simple and beginner friendly with no extra complex. So let's build. I'm going to click on this and then we'll watch it build the app. So you can see it's building now. It's building your idea. It's going to take a few minutes and then it's going to build up. One of the things I also like to do is to go through its reasoning. Like its reasoning can be a game changer for you, and it can also help you understand some certain things and also understand its thought process. Right? For example, the user wants me to create a 3-step booking app. Yeah. So screen 1, blah, blah, blah. Select, okay, screen 1, display service cards, allow, selection, navigate, and screen 2. So you can see the requirement. Sometimes when he makes a mistake and you ask it to correct it, make sure you check the reasoning to make sure that to ensure the thought process is in line with what you want it to do. If it's not in line with what you want it to do, just click on stop here and then resend the prompt or modify the prompt and resend it, because if not, it's just going to build it for you and the output might not be what you want it to build. So I like to read through its reasoning to understand its thought process to make sure that it's building correctly. And currently it's building in line with what we want. So you can see, I think it's almost done. Now he's saying that he wants to create. He says he has created, and we've run out of our credit. We've run out of our credit for the month. So I'm using the free account to teach. I was thinking that I was going to finish building with the free account, but I'm not. But let's see what we can do. I might switch to my paid account. Let's see. You are on free AI credits until refresh tomorrow. So we'll not be able to build until tomorrow. If you take a look at this now, it's tried. You can see the interface. You can see what would you like to book. Choose a service. You can see classic, gel pedicure, hairstyling, facial treatment. We can say hairstyling, and once we select it, it's going to tell us to choose. Then we'll choose a date. So hairstyling is 90 minutes and it's 18,000. So we can choose a date. And let's say Saturday 8th. What time do we want? You can say 12 p.m. Back to setting. So we can go back to change. You can go to the next and you can see Beauty Glow, confirm booking. So review and confirm your booking. And you can see it shows me the detail, the date, the time, the service I'm booking, the duration, and the price. Please arrive 10 minutes before, which is cool. Before appointment. Late arrivals may reduce your session time, which is awesome. So I'm going to confirm my booking, and you can see my booking is confirmed. It's prompting me to book another appointment, which is good. You can see we built this idea from start to finish without having any idea of how the interface is going to look like. This is not the best output, but this is a good place to start. So now that we have created this, I'm not going to go into this because we've actually run out of credit, right? I'm going to share this with you guys. You guys can spin it off, create different versions of it. You can modify the interface as you want, and then create something more beautiful from there. But now that we've built our idea, let's try to publish, right? So let's say we want to publish. If you're using the free account, shows chat story, you will need to publish it to Figma community. If you're using the free account, you can see you cannot publish your app or your product with the free account. You can't publish it without publishing to the Figma community. So we are going to publish it to the Figma community. You can give the page a title. You can call it appointment booking flow. It already has a default title, right? Appointment booking. Or we can call it Glow Up Beauty Studio, because that's the name of the stuff we're building. So you can say book appointments. appointments on time. And we have that as our meta description. Your meta description is basically when somebody searches you online, it shows them the name of your platform and then maybe like a subtext that the user can read, and it helps a lot. Right? So this one you can add your file icon. Tab icon is when a user, like this type of icon you're seeing at the top here, that's your file icon. When a user visits the icon or the logo that they want to use, but we're not going to go into that. So if you have like a logo, you can upload the logo icon for your logo here. Then you can upload the screenshot. Maybe you can take a screenshot of the app and then upload it from here. But you make sure that you use the specific sizes that they have, the sizes that they have specified here. So let's publish first, and then let's publish it to Figma Community Develop Studio. Right? Remember, we can always come back here. You edit the domain and then you use the specific domain you want. Okay. Like this one, you can see how gibberish the domain is. It's a fieldcast36 blah 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 .figma.site. If we were using like a specific domain for you, so we can call this one Glow Up Studio. Glow Up Studio. Yeah. Now we can update the URL. You can see now, instead of that gibberish domain that we had earlier, we now have our Glow Up Studio domain. You can come back, then as you publish, you can copy the domain and share with people. This is not the best looking interface, but we started from somewhere. Now let's go back to the interface that we wanted. Let me just do a little bit update and see what we can do. Yeah, let's see if it's even mobile responsive. So not bad. In our next video, I'm going to move this to, because I'm not able to edit here. Number one, we run out of credit. Number two, we have points to edit disabled and we can't do much. And number three, this is a free account that can only be published to Figma community before you can publish it. But this is a good place to start still. I can always copy this link and then share with you guys so that you can spin off this idea from your end and then build it into something great. But in our next video, I think I'm going to move this to my professional account and then we can start modifying the interface, because here it doesn't look that bad, but I believe it can get better, right? It can get better. All right, see you guys in the next video. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Bye.